and welcome back to your daily art challenge. Today's art challenge is the word green, and there's a lot of ways you could approach the word green. I actually tried a couple other things before I came up with this idea, but for today I'm going to have you grab an object, anything that you can find, and actually try to create a cast shadow with it, and then trace that cast shadow lightly and just kind of carefully go around the edges and look for the shapes that you see. Notice I have two shadows that are coming from my object, and that's okay. I'm just choosing to trace the more intense of the two shadows. And then once I get done with that, I kind of looked at it and thought about it for a minute and decided that I will actually miss a spot. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to rotate things around a little bit and create a new cast shadow. And I'm going to overlap that to create some new shapes on my page. So I'm going to continue to trace this object a few times until I have a couple objects traced on there. Once I have a few objects traced, I kind of grabbed a couple green colored pencils, different shades of green, and started just really honestly randomly fill in some shapes that I see. Started to look for some areas and kind of move around the picture plane, starting with the one color first and blocking in some sections of that color. Then I continue on filling things in as I go until I find that maybe it's time to switch to a new color in a minute here. And as I'm looking around at the object and kind of looking at the shape and composition, I start to realize that I might want to rotate things around and look at it from a different direction, and possibly even add another cast shadow just to kind of break up the picture plane in these large shapes in the background. So I trace it one more time, just carefully kind of lightly outlining things as I go. And then from there I can kind of start to fill things back in. And this is where I start to think about different textures I can apply and different shading techniques. I don't have to fill everything in even and smooth and push hard as I do it. I can kind of start to create some different dimensions by playing with the pencil control, directionality, and the pressure that I'm using as I apply things. And for this area, I'm just liking that whole idea of just kind of creating that shading around the edge as it creates that line that disappears and just becomes space as those dark shadows and shading meet the line itself. So it looks almost like it's laying on top of a background. And then I kind of look at the composition again and think that I might need a little bit more in some other areas. So I went to the opposite corner and started to create a little bit more of the same shading technique to kind of spread that around and create a little bit of repetition. And now switching to a new color again and just trying and experimenting with some different applications there. Back to that same technique and using directionality and creating those lines with a new color. I'm repeating the texture but adding a new color. And you'll notice I keep rotating the sketchbook around to look at it from different angles. And I start to kind of block in some large shapes again. This time directionally shading the opposite way, perpendicular to how I was before. And this is where I had to make a decision about a third color, and I had two relatively dark or muted tones, so I went to something lighter and brighter for the third color, just to break it up a bit. Just a suggestion, if you are playing around with shades of green, or if you're ever creating a color scheme, sticking between 2 to 3 colors is always a good idea to start. And then working that color around the picture plane to make sure I'm spreading it in other areas besides just the one spot. Playing with that figure-ground relationship, what's the foreground and what's the background? By adding these shading techniques and filling things in, you start to create a more abstract image where you're not noticing what's in the background and what's in the foreground. You're almost creating your own coloring book in a way. Now, I'm not loving how these two colors are meeting up in that area there, so I'm going to come back in a few moments here and tweak that a bit by adding an outline, you'll see. So right about here I pick up a darker pencil and just kind of look for some areas to add some heavy, thicker shapes to, but also some weighted line. Weighted lines are thicker lines that kind of differentiate things and add a little bit of dimension and interest to your artwork. Especially in that area where those two colors meeting together weren't doing exactly what I'd hoped they'd do. Just decided to go back and create an outline. And then some areas taking that outline and spreading that value again around so it kind of blends out from that line so you don't see the hard outline in some areas, in other areas you do. Right about here, I am just kind of finishing up and deciding that, you know what, I think this is good enough for now. It's been at least 15 minutes, if not more, and I'm just going to remember what the date was, and this day's word was green. It's always nice to date your work so you can kind of remember what day you did it and why. All right, folks, that's it for today. So, go, draw, create, do something around the word green, and I can't wait to see what you make. See ya.